Let me tell you, it's the hottest day of the year today and I've decided to record a YouTube video. Great. Anyway, obviously you can't see the heat there, so let's jump in and have a look at what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to convert text to tables in Word. It's a really handy feature, especially when somebody has put in a lot of text and you think this would be better laid out in a table. So let's jump into Word and see how this works. So here we are in Word, and I've got some text here that's separated by commas, and I figured it would be better in a table. There is an argument it might be better in Excel, but that's another subject entirely. But let's change this into a table first of all. So we're going to highlight it, and if you look carefully you'll see that the text is separated by a comma. Just re-highlight it because I don't want to highlight just above or just below it. So it's separated by a comma, so I know what the separation is, and that's where I'm going to split it into two columns for my table. Now we're going to go up to the table menu, and from the table menu we're going to choose Convert Text to Table. Gives us a couple, and sometimes you'll find this box does itself, and it has done in our case, so let's just zoom in and have a look. So it's suggesting two columns, and it's also suggesting that we separate it with commas, and you can also change the way it fits, so you could go for an auto fit here, or we could choose a fixed width. We can mess around with that afterwards, but as far as a dialog box goes, actually that's pretty much what I want. So all I'm going to do is choose OK, and there we go. How quick was that? So I've got my data. Even if I decided to put it into Excel, now it would be really easy to copy and paste into Excel. I'll show you one thing here which you can do in Word. I'm just going to add another row. So when I add another row to a table, the quickest way to do that is click in the last cell after the text and just press your tab key. Now your tab key is above caps lock. On the left hand side of your keyboard, press tab and that will give you a new line. So just keep pressing it to give you more than one new line. So that's the first thing, and the second thing I'm going to do is show you how to add up some figures. So let's come up to the table layout option, and we're going to go to, on the ribbon at the top, we're going to go to the formula option. Now I wouldn't use this for a lot of figures. Maybe I'm doing an invoice, maybe there's something with a lot of text in but I just needed to add up a column. So if it's lots of figures, go into Excel, but if it's part of a report and you just need to add up a few figures, this is really handy. So we're going to click on formula, and there we go. So it comes up with the formula. Let's just zoom in so you can see that. Equals sum above, and basically that means add up what's in the cell above. I can put a format on it, so if I wanted to add pounds or anything like that, and choose OK. There it is, all done. I'm also going to right align these because obviously they're figures and they would make much more sense if they were aligned right. If you look in your tables, there is a selection of alignment buttons up here, and the right align one is there. So I could use that rather than the normal alignment buttons. Just one thing to bear in mind if you've used this, I'm just going to change one of these figures, and let's change the top one to 120, and it's not like Excel where it automatically updates. You do have to right click and choose update field. So for a very simple addition, that is I use that quite a lot. If it gets more complex than that, definitely do it in Excel. Okay, let's stick back to the text to table. We're going to try something different. So in this example, I've got some notes from a meeting, and I've got the notes here, so this bit here, and I've got the action, person has to do the action here, and I've decided actually this would be better in the table with the note in one column and then the person's doing the action in another column. Now for this to work, and sometimes with this feature you need to play around a bit, so let's just have a look what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm going to put my show hide on, that is this button up here, there we go, that's my show hide. I use that a lot in Word, and that will show me all of the non-printing characters, so things like where I press the enter key, I get this little shape here, where the tab key is or where it's aligning, you get the arrow, and then between the words you get a dot. So this is really important. So let's see if we do the text to table as it is at the moment. So I'm going to highlight everything, and then I'm going to go up to my table menu like we did before. Do you remember that? So we went up to the insert menu and into the table menu, and I'm going to choose convert text to table. So we're going to choose 2 columns. This could work, this may not. And the Word, I went into Excel mode there, Word has picked up that the paragraph is the separator. So there we go, so it thinks, and then that's actually right, I do want the paragraph as the separator. So let's give this a go, choose OK. Yeah, this isn't quite what I want. Okay, we're going to go back a step, the good old undo, let's do the undo. So, I think the problem that's causing this is after the person's name, I've got 2 returns, and I don't want 2 returns. I actually only want 1 because it's those 2 returns that's caused me a problem. Now, I'm going to show you, I could do this in 2 ways. I could manually go through and just delete these returns. But let's say this document was loads of pages and not the simple example here. So I'm going to show you a little trick I sometimes use when there's too many returns in. So we highlight the document into the replace option. So that is up here on the ribbon. There's replace. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to go to the more section. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say find what, come right down the bottom and choose special. And then I'm going to get it to find 2 paragraph marks. So when you choose 2 paragraph marks, you actually get 2 of these strange looking P shapes there, just on a red mark around them. And that means 2 paragraph marks. And I want them to be replaced with 1 paragraph mark. So I'm going to go into replace with special and paragraph mark. So that looks fine. It's going to replace 2 with 1. And just choose OK. Or sorry, I would choose replace all. So if you want to be a bit more controlling of it, you could choose replace and it will just go for 1 at a time. But let's go replace all. Yeah, 3 replacements, that sounds good. And we're going to choose yes. So what you'll see it's done when we come out of it is it's tightened up the spacing. There's not got that loose spacing anymore. So now if I highlight it, we're going to go back to insert. We're going to go back to table. We're going to go convert text to table. Change it to 2 columns. We're going to still use the paragraph marks. Choose OK. And there we go, it's perfect. And I'm just going to switch off the symbols. So, I've got a number 4 there that's kind of got a bit straight. But apart from that, okay, so sometimes with this you've got to play around with it. Maybe try different variations. Maybe sometimes you need to tidy up a few of those paragraph marks, or just look at what's separating them. But it's a lot quicker than copying and pasting. So that is how you would change something like this into a table. I'm going to do one more. Now this one here, it looks, you could be mistaken thinking it is a table, but let's have a look. Let's go up to our show hide, and I can see quite clearly that somebody's used tabs. So remember that tab key I talked about earlier that sits above caps lock? They've used the tabs to separate them, but I would prefer these to be in a table. So like we did before, we're going to select all of my items, up into insert, up into table, come down to convert text to table. It's picked up the right amount of columns. It's also picked up the tabs. So all I need to do is choose OK, and there we go. All done. I'm just going to switch off the show hide, and that is fine. And just to recap, let's do a new line, and we're going to just add up those 2 columns with the figures in. So I'm just going to tap my tab key once. And if you remember, on the table layout tab, we use the formula button. Choose OK. And I'm going to do the same with the number in stock. Again, think about these, do you need, I'm just going to right align them as well. Is this an Excel thing? And I think this is the thing with tables. It's a difficult call sometimes as to whether it's going to be in Excel or in Word. I think the key point is how much analysis are you going to be doing? Is it going to have a lot of other text in, a lot of paragraphs, a lot of explanations? If it's going to have a lot of explanations, maybe it's more of a report, Word might be better. If there's going to be a lot of data analysis, you need to be sorting, you need to be filtering, then you might want to consider Excel. And I think, as with anything you're working on, before you do it, think, what do I want to achieve with this? And that'll help you decide whether Word or Excel is better. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope when I do my next video it will be a bit cooler.